What's up, y'all? I'm Tawan.
I'm Tierlyn.
And I'm Terrell. And you're about to be
Rewired.
So yeah, we're going to focus on goal setting in 2021 because 2020 was pretty much a wash. I think we all had enough obstacles with COVID and social unrest. And,
so over 2020.
Over 2020. I think we all need a pat on the back for just surviving and making it through 2020 with a sound mind and sound body.
Definitely. And man, happy New Year, everybody. Happy 2021. Hope everybody had a happy and safe New Year. We're going to show y'all a couple clips of our New Year. On the topic of goal setting for 2021, man, I got mixed feelings about the concept of the New Year's resolution. What do you think?
I feel like it's good to always have that plan for what you want to do for the upcoming year. Just have an ideal set of how this year is about to go, because if you just go into the new year, sometimes it could get a little confusing. It could get a little messy because you really don't know what to expect. So if you plan, then you know exactly where you're headed.
It's definitely good to have a plan.
I like the idea of a New Year's resolution because it gives you a time period and it's a little built-in anxiety that I think is healthy. You know what I'm saying? It gives you a little kick in the ass a little bit like, hey, I didn't do the things that I wanted to do by this time period. So hopefully this year I can be a little bit more productive and do some things differently.
Definitely. Well, I got mixed feelings about it. I think it's good to always set goals. So this is just another opportunity to set a goal. But some of y'all be capping. You know you ain't gonna do it. You just make it, you know what I'm saying? Just so and sometimes I feel like if you're gonna set the goal and it's gonna be important to you, why wait for the new year to do that? Do that whenever you feel like you need to do that. But if that just happens to be the new year, it just happens to be the new year. But you don't have to wait for New Year's to set goals.
Definitely. I agree with that.
Definitely. So I guess what I want to talk about is why you should set goals in general and not just wait for the new year. Well, for one thing, goals allows you to be productive and not stagnate in a place. Because I think it's kind of natural for once you get comfortable in your situation to relax and kind of stay in that situation too long. But if you consistently setting goals and reaching goals and setting new goals, then you always climb and you never stay in the same place. So that's one reason. Another reason that I was reminded of today is it allows you to give yourself some credit for the things that you have accomplished. Like I went and got my hair cut, the little hair that I do have left right before this podcast, right? And the barber...
You got your beard lined up.
You got the beard lined up. Yeah, you can't just be out here regular with the beard. I can do this myself. But the barber said, what's the podcast going to be on today? And we told him goal setting. He was like, yeah, that's not something I'm really good at. And my brother here was like, I got to disagree with you. And he told him that, you know, since we met this gentleman, he has really become a completely different person. Like literally, the man stopped cussing. He got a family now. He used to be kind of like a street dude. And he started a whole new business since we've known him. They moved up from one shop to another shop. So he ain't goal setting, you know what I'm saying? Like documenting his goals and going back and seeing if he reached them in a timely fashion. So he's not able to give himself the credit that he deserves for reaching a lot of goals in the process of just living life and trying to do better.
Exactly.
So definitely, man, if you set goals, it allows you to stop and think, you know what I'm saying? And say, man, I did that.
Definitely.
Exactly. Well, for me, I'm the opposite. I feel like goals are definitely something that you should always put into place. You should always have a goal or two. What I do, I kind of set a list of short-term goals and then I make a list of long-term goals. Short-term goals can be something as small as getting an oil change, you know, you may want to clean out your closet. A long-term goal may be, you know, savings. You may want to save a certain amount of money. You may want to work on a different project as far as business-wise, or, you know, something along those measures. But when you are setting goals, one thing you should do is set a SMART goal. Make sure the goal is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time limited. And when you get those all down packed, you should be able to set those goals for yourself that you can make that will be realistic to you. You know, don't go and do something so extreme. You know, you just saved up your first $200. Now you talk about you want to be a millionaire. You can't do that. I mean, you can. It'll be possible. But when it comes to goals, like all jokes aside, I'm so serious. Like I am a gold digger. Okay, I am the gold digger.
A gold digger.
Don't be a gold digger. Be a gold digger. Okay.
Gold.
Yes. Like when it comes to it, you really have to make sure that you are focused. If you want to set goals, be serious about it. People don't make their goals happen because you're not changing your mind. You gotta really be in that mentality.
You gotta rewire that thing.
Yeah, you have to rewire yourself. It's been so many times that I have set goals for myself in the past, and I was wondering why I didn't get to those goals. Is because I didn't change the way that I was thinking. I didn't change my mentality. I was still having the same bad habits. It's all about your habits. What are you doing every day to become successful, or to lose weight, or to, you know, become a millionaire, whatever you want to do with your goals? What are you doing to lead up to that? Are you waking up early? Are you taking care of yourself? What do you have to say?
Can I jump in right there with that lose weight thing?
Yeah.
I got a little tidbit of knowledge for y'all. Calorie deficit. That could be a short-term goal. But all of them people that got that resolution to lose weight, calorie deficit. Look up that word, that term. And all it means in layman's terms is you burn more calories in a day than you consume. So if you know that breakfast was a big one and you had 1,000 calories, you might want to chill out on, lunch and dinner and make sure you burn at least 1,000 calories that day if you feel like you're going to lose weight. But you can look at a whole bunch of research and it's going to tell you a whole bunch of specific knowledge. But the basic breakdown of that is if you burn more calories than you consume, you lose weight. If you don't, you gain weight.
Definitely.
Exactly. Or your goal may be to get your body done.
We just left that topic. I definitely want to chime in on a couple of things that Tierra Leanne mentioned about why people sometimes do not achieve their goals. And I think one thing to pay attention to is your why. Like, what is the reason why you want to achieve these goals? If it's something that's strong enough to motivate you, then that's the thing that's going to keep you working. That's what's going to keep you grinding. That's what's going to keep you dedicated to achieving that goal. Mm-hmm. A couple of other things that I thought about is breaking it down into smaller steps, because if you do have a long-term goal, it might be overwhelming to think about that big thing. Right. So to break it down into smaller things that can be achieved quicker, then you have that reward over and over again until you do achieve the long-term goal. One thing that came into mind, I was watching Will Smith, and he said that his dad tore down a brick wall and had him and his brother rebuild the wall. And he said one thing that he learned building that wall is you never go build a wall. What you do is go lay a brick that's perfectly placed on top or beside the brick that you laid the previous day. And sooner or later, you have a wall. You know what I'm saying? So it's breaking that big goal down into small steps.
Definitely. And those smaller steps are less overwhelming, I guess, than thinking that you got to achieve all of this big thing all at once, I guess you could say.
Exactly. And make room for your goals to even happen. You got to make room for your blessings. Get away from those people who are in your way. Get away from all those old habits, those old places, those old things, and make room. Start hanging with people who have the same goals as you. Get you a mentor, or learn from somebody who has experience in those things that you want to accomplish. And we're not saying that your goals have to be pertaining to success. Some people, like I said, some people goals may be on physical appearance. It may be on just the smallest thing as to buying a new car, anything, to do those things. Sometimes even with that, you have to be in the right environment around the right people who can put you in those positions or that can at least motivate you, because motivation is the key. Another key to goal setting. You have to be motivated to even make goals for yourself. You have to be motivated to even feel like this is attainable for you. So to find the people who are finding themselves in in a sticky situation where they can't quite find the motivation or find the hope or take the leap of faith to start on the goals, I would say the first thing that you could do is start with something small. And just like they said, think about the things that you have already accomplished. And when you think of that, that'll really give you a little bit more hope and a little bit more motivation that you need.
Definitely. One thing that comes to mind thinking about surrounding yourself with the right people, like Tierra Leanne said, I remember we had a worksheet that we used to give to kids. It was called Energizing versus Draining. Mm-hmm. And you wrote down your closest friends. Think about your experiences with that friend and think about if that friend energizes you or drains you. Do you do action things with that person? Are y'all motivated to do new things together, or if that person always got their hand out, or if that person is always needing something, or if that person is always doing something to pull your mood down.
And you feel drained after the interaction.
Definitely.
Exactly. And if you don't have the energy, then how are you going to ever get to where you want to go?
One thing comes to mind, elevation sometimes requires separation.
You always said that.
Yeah.
And the crazy, another thing that I thought about when it comes to setting goals, and you're gonna have some naysayers out there, right? And we got some current events going on right now that really speaks to that, in my opinion. We got our first African American senator. I think it's official now.
Raphael Warnock,
Right,
baby.
Warnock. So, but just imagine the first person he told he was about to be in the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
He was probably like a preacher or something somewhere, and he was probably talking to one of his colleagues or friends or family and said, I want to be in the Senate.
Yeah.
Just think about how he was probably received at that point in time. Somebody somewhere was a hater. I said, bro, chill out. You making some good money. You doing good for where you at.
Yeah.
Don't do too much and, piss the wrong person off.
Yeah, they not going to let you do that.
Yeah. So
don't tell people your goals.
No, you can tell them, but anticipate some haters.
Yes.
And that's how you know you got a good goal.
And that was my third step to achieving your goals. Anticipate obstacles. And how you gonna respond to those obstacles? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was gonna bring a little personal experience in, because we like to do that here on Rewired.
Okay, go right ahead.
The first personal experience, I'm gonna go through all 4 of my steps with this personal experience that I had. A little goal. It's gonna be quick. Don't even worry about it. So look, I had put on a little quarantine weight. I had went from my regular 220 slim and trim to 240. A little bit out of my comfort zone. So what I wanted to do is lose 20 pounds. Now that in itself is a little overwhelming. So I had to go back to my why.
You lost some pounds too.
I lost them quick. I said, why do I want to lose this weight? Because number one, nobody had really seen me at 240. So to show up at 240 would be a little bit of an adjustment for everybody. And I'll be the big twin. I don't like being a big twin. I don't like that to be the reason you can tell us apart.
Oh, yeah, you the one that's a little bigger?
Yeah. Okay. Or that everybody say something about it. Oh, you been eating. Like, come on. You don't got to do me like that. So that was my why. So the second thing I had to do was break it down into smaller steps. So instead of losing 20 pounds, I said, I'm going to lose 3 pounds a week for 6 weeks, and that'll be 21 pounds, which was easy for me to do. The third thing for me that I had to do was anticipate obstacles. So I know I love chocolate chip cookies. I need to stay away from those. You know what I mean? I don't eat a whole bunch of bad stuff, but the chocolate chip cookies, oh yeah, I will go there. And then eating late. I eat late sometimes. I need to stop doing that. Because after the unwind time at the end of the day, when you unwind, you rewire at the end of the day, you be going grabbing crazy stuff. So I had to learn that those were some obstacles. I had to anticipate those. I had to have a plan to deal with those obstacles. So I invested in a little meal prep lady. And then the action part is doing something every day to help yourself reach that goal. And that was actually going to work out. And that was the easy part. I mean, because I work out anyway.
And another important part with goal setting is set you a deadline. It's not a goal until you set the deadline. You could write a whole list of things that you want to do and not get it accomplished because you don't have a deadline on it. Not saying that every goal you have is going to have some type of, due date, but it's good to have that so you won't go and say, oh, well, I've always wanted to have a restaurant and you've been saying this whole thing for 10 years. And it could be like that because you never really set that standard for yourself to say, okay, I'm going to, not that I want to. When you write a goal to, you have to say, this is what I'm going to do. I plan on opening my restaurant November the 1st, no later than December. You get me? So it makes it a little bit more realistic for you.
Of a priority.
Yes, more of a priority. And then you'll find yourself in line with that. When you set your goals and you set those deadlines, things will just start moving in and things will start falling right in your lap. But you have to make sure that it's a priority and it's something that you really want to do and that you really set your mind to.
I thought of another one, man. Don't fall into that as soon as trap. Anybody heard that?
Yeah.
Like
I'm going to do that thing as soon as this situation happens or as soon as that situation is over. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be something that you can say as soon as.
Yeah.
You never will be ready.
Definitely. It's never going to be a perfect time. Just do it.
Put it in, and if you don't have it all together, put it in motion.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my my mottos that I lived by in 2020. Just put it in motion. Even if you don't have it all together and all figured out, put things in place, small little things in place, and watch how it'll come together slowly but surely, because you're on your own time too. Don't let people rush you.
Man,
Don't let people trick you. And don't let people steal your idea, because they will steal you.
There you go.
So hurry up and jump on it.
Man, I'm gonna steal that one though.
What?
That, you just rewired me. Appreciate you for rewiring me right there. Yeah, because I have a tendency to want to wait until everything is perfect. I think I'm just gonna put a couple of things in motion because I got a lot of ideas that I haven't really started yet. But I'm gonna start them. I'm not gonna wait until everything is worked out.
Just even think about, remember when we first said, like, okay, we're gonna start this YouTube, we wanna do this. We said we want to do this for so long. I was losing hope and everything, but it take a team. We came together and we finally got it done, but we didn't set those deadlines. But we end up saying, okay, we're gonna go ahead and do this, and we put it in motion. So that's just a prime example of putting stuff. We didn't know what we was walking into. We did it, and it's here. I mean,
man, one more kind of way to vouch for the whole goal setting thing is the election that's going on right now. Georgia was able to make history and not only become blue once but twice when we elected a Democrat for president and then again for the Senate. But just like my brother said over there, anytime you got a goal, right before you accomplish that goal is always some obstacles. There's always some type of barrier between you and accomplishing that goal. And you see what those barriers are. Yeah. We got people protesting every election, trying to demand a recount,
refusing to leave
the office,
refusing to concede.
And it's crazy, but it's just another example of a person that had a goal. It was a lofty one at first. It didn't look like it was going to happen, but he stuck to it. And even once he was right there about to accomplish it, it was still some barriers and some obstacles.
Some haters.
Yeah. He blew it out the park.
Definitely.
And that shows how powerful it is to have goals. Like, goals are powerful.
Definitely. And they go back to that previous video that we had about voting. Everybody, we appreciate everybody who watched the video, everybody who went out to vote and made your voice heard. If it was because of something that you've seen here or anywhere else, we did that, and it was a goal. We set that goal and we accomplished it. So we appreciate that.
Definitely.
Okay.
So yeah, and we want y'all to keep viewing us. Like and subscribe. We are Rewired Podcast _ on Instagram and Rewired 2020 on YouTube. Holla at us.
And you have been
Rewired.